Blended threats and all, it's very unique situations which you can observe for the next few years. Here basically the threat vector doesn't come simply in a one propagation media, right? So a threat may come via email, which will basically take you to some fraudulent website. That website may contain some malicious scripts which will get download some keylogger or some Trojan on your computer. When the Trojan is installed on your computer, it compromises it. So you don't know, it could lead you to denial of service attack. It could make your machine as a part of relay. It could make your machine as a part of zombie also. So this is something like blended threats which you will observe. The other different part of blended threats is something like a threat or basically a attack vector hidden inside a good genuine audio and video contents. Right? So you don't know, because this entire traffic gets downloaded through some genuine ports which are allowed ports like port 80 and port 443, which are allowed in the organization. So that is what's typically the blended threating. Typical solutions in the form of firewalls and the intrusion prevention systems or a simple content filtering or endpoint security may not be able to contain counter these threats effectively. You need to have a layered strategy to do it. You need to ensure that even though your firewalls, they are equipped with the application level protection kind of a situation, you need to go further, try to think of log correlation, which will give you real-time log correlation and alerts. You may think of going to a cloud-based model also, where reputation-based services are there. So I think a layered approach is what is the solution which will tackle the blended threats. And as far as the short-term strategy is concerned to counter application layer threats, I think the best thing would be the application security audit of a code, source code. Right? So if you really audit the source code for input validations, for password-related stuff to protect it from brute force and other dictionary attacks, because you have seen a lot of the social networking sites in the last year or so, they have become victim of purely brute force attack. Okay, so the source code audit is one part of it. Other things is definitely application audit, which we have ready-made tools are available to do that. And I think if a programmer is really taken care of the security at the time of the code development, so which is called as a secure code development, I think we can definitely mitigate this application layer attack. This should be the short-term strategy. What we do at the Bank of India is we have our internal information security audit team. Right? So I have a persons who are the information security auditors. Right? So their job is to go periodically and audit the applications for security vulnerabilities. So in another way, they are doing some kind of information risk assessments, right? So as to ensure that your information is confidential, your information is integral, and your information is available 24/7 to the end users, right? In addition to this, we have a separate internal audit division, right, which will take care of the periodical audits of your applications and all. In addition to these audits, which are something like a proactive as well as proactive or preventive kind of a situation, we have also basically ensured that a risk assessment framework is in place. So as I said, any application which goes into a production, right, has to go for a risk assessment framework. A risk assessment framework covers the security audit, is one part of it. In addition to this, there is a vulnerability assessment and ethical hacking, which is also performed. So I think this is what our organization should have. If they simply audit your applications and find out the vulnerabilities, that is not the concern. So you need to ensure that the vulnerabilities are basically identified, as well as you have to also ensure that the data is not leaked. You have to also ensure that the processes are followed. So I think audit should be a holistic, and that is what we are doing in the form of a security policy audit, right? Our process audit, then some technical solutions audit. I mean, vulnerability assessment. You use some tools, freeware and all, and to find out the vulnerability, or some paid-based tools. we have an information systems formulation and implementation team called as ISFIT, right? So a person from IT department of a level of say deputy general manager and all, a person of information security department, CISO, then we have a person from operational risk department, right? A person from network division, a person from antivirus cell, you know. We all sit together every quarter and we review the information security posture. On the top of it, we have a steering committee. It's called as Information Systems Security Committee, ISSC, which is a committee comprised of our top management, our executive directors and our general managers, like general manager HR, to take care of the people aspect of security. Right? Because he's the best person, right? If you want some resources, he should be there. We have a central vigilance officer from a vigilance angle. We have a person from audit department. I mean, I'm talking about top management. We have top management representative from risk management, from IT. So the entire security team is there. And entire team sits once in every 6 months. And they review the information security posture of your organization. So the output of our ISPIT meetings, the output or maybe the incidents which are happening in the last 6 months, then the audit report, you know, all the reports are discussed in the ISSC meetings and all, right? And they see against these reports, or against the incidents, what are the actions being taken, and what we should do further. Two-factor authentication is nothing but basically it's added level of security, added level of authentication. It is something you know. It is a single factor. Username and password are your single factor. What is required? It's something you have. What I have, right? So what I have is the fraudster doesn't have that, and that is what is saving me on performing the online transactions or internet banking transactions. So we have actually been the first public sector bank in India to roll out this comprehensive solution, which really protects our customer from all your phishing 1.0 as well as phishing 2.0 kind of attacks. And I think after the solution is being implemented now. The phase-wise implementation is going on. We expect the entire rollout to be over by 30th of April. And after that, I think we should be able to, quantify the incidences, the subsequent reduction in phishing incidents and all. But I think every bank should have two-factor authentication, and my sincere request goes to RBI because their guidelines are a little old, internet banking guidelines, 2001 June based. I think they should, we sincerely expect from them that they should come out with some stringent and very holistic information security guidelines for internet banking, having a two-factor authentication, and which will make it mandatory for all the banks. Otherwise, you will find that the customers, they disclose their credentials, they go on becoming a victim of these phishing attacks and all these things.